Hi, I'm Sandy Zuniga, the founder of Colorado Springs Town Tidings. Be in the know on the go for all things Colorado Springs delivered right to your inbox. And today in our local business spotlight, I'm excited to introduce to you Jason Derra and Kaylee Derra, owners of Fit Body Boot Camp at the North Carefree location, a high energy fitness center specializing in 30-minute group workouts that deliver twice the results in half the time. So we've got Jason and Kaylee in the house.
Hi.
How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. So I want to, you guys are the owners of Fit Body Bootcamp, but you have a great backstory. You tell me a little bit about who you are and what you do other than the Fit Body Boot Camp. Let's start off that way.
All right. Sounds good. Again, thanks for having us on. So I'm Jason and Kaylee. We've opened Fit Body Boot Camp about a month ago. So we're just about at 4 weeks. So we opened March 24th. We already have a kind of a good blend of clientele coming in. Right now we're running our 4 week special for new members only, 4 weeks for $40. So this is unlimited boot camps, 30-minute sessions, all fitness levels. We're really passionate about health and fitness, and as Sarah was talking with our background, I'm a firefighter in the Falcon community right now. Kaylee's a nurse right now, and we're a nurse practitioner right now, and we're passionate about health and fitness, preventative medicine, and I think it all starts in the gym. With our discipline to get into the gym, we recommend 3+ workouts a week. We're a full accountability team with all of our coaches at the gym, so we'll make sure you're coming into the gym, making sure you're getting your 3 to 4 workouts in a week. And we love new members, and we're really passionate.
Great. And I have a personal interest in fitness. I just finished my workout and then I was like, okay,
Nice.
let's go ahead and
Nice.
get on. So fitness and just a healthy lifestyle
Mhm.
is just really important to me. And for my subscribers, I want to make sure that they are also choosing to be healthy because it helps the whole community in general, them, themselves, and the community. And it kind of sounds like that's a little bit what, where you guys are too.
Yep. That's
Yep.
that, that's exactly what we're trying to do. I mean, obviously with both of our backgrounds, we see a lot of gaps in preventative care, and so this is something that, like Jason said, we're really passionate about trying to keep our community healthy and stronger, to prevent other disease processes. So,
Right. Yeah, because it's always harder trying to recover or, fix a problem where if it's something that's possibly preventable, we want to get in front of that.
of course. Yeah.
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 So that I'm assuming, I was going to ask you what inspired you both to open Fit Body Boot Camp, but Kaylee, I think, maybe you just touched on that, but why now as opposed to, at any other time?
That's a
Man.
good question. That is a good
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
So I started working, and I was doing some primary care during some of my coursework, and I just didn't have the time that I needed to educate patients properly on fitness and diet nutrition. So
Yeah.
that was kind of like ethically, something that was kind of tolling on me. So me and Jason kind of talked about it, and he's really into fitness as well. And so we started looking for ways that we could help our community and expand that reach. So, yeah.
Great. So
Yeah.
as a nurse practitioner, right?
Yeah.
Um, you, we all know we go to the doctor, and depending on what group you're with, they limit possibly 15 minutes or whatever. And so I can just imagine being so heart-centered and wanting to help, how that would box you in and, weigh on you that you've got so much more to help somebody, but okay, the time is there. I got to go, to somebody else. So now with Fit Body Boot Camp, do you have sections where, they do their workouts and stuff, but do you have other sections where they can come and talk to you about like nutrition or things like that? Is that part of it yet or no?
That's a great question. That was one thing that we really saw in Fit Body that we loved. They do have some nutritional counseling programs. So right now we're kind of starting with our basic membership because we want to get really good at just that basic, getting that workout down with our new coaches. Obviously, this is new to everybody, getting our clients in the groove of how the workouts run. But we do have an in-body scanner that differentiates percentages of body fat and skeletal muscle mass. And we allow our clients to do that. We recommend like once a month so that they can track their progress. But we're also planning on implementing a nutrition program. And we're always happy to talk to our clients about nutrition because we're kind of nerdy about nutrition and fitness. So we're always happy to answer questions if we can.
Oh, I love that. So even though Fit Body Bootcamp is a franchise and you're confined a little bit in the, franchise model, but you said they had nutrition and stuff. It seems like you guys are putting your own spin on it and taking it to where you can that just elevates it. So you're not just a regular franchise.
Right. Yeah. It is franchise and there's some franchise implications. They're kind of helping us kick us off. But really like the sky's the limit for what we do, kind of going forward, really just trying to inspire fitness in the community. And we think that, once you inspire fitness, you change people's lives. And with Colorado Springs being, around 500,000 people, we're probably going to get close to being able to help 1% of the population in Colorado Springs right now, just with one location. So if we can help 1% of the population, holy moly, like that's making a good chunk of the population to just change the trajectory of, generational health.
I totally agree, and I absolutely love that. Um, you know, Thank you for sharing that part. So, Jason, how has your work as a firefighter shaped your approach to health and fitness?
Well, I think I've always been even before being with the fire department. I've always been passionate about health and fitness, and that kind of even leveled it up a little bit more. Just being prepared for the community, myself, my crew, my team, and then just pouring into our new coaches at Fit Body. And then just able to pour into our members that are coming in. Health and fitness is like the foundation of everything, and chances are all of your habits, all of your processes throughout your day, your family life, your work life, your home life. That's going to follow your fitness. If you're active and working out and doing the things that you should for your body, then chances are you're probably going to eat a little bit healthier. You're probably going to you're going to sleep a little bit better. You're going to be there for your children a little bit better. You're going to be there for your brothers, sisters, and coworkers a little bit better. So everything kind of just kind of falls into place when your health and fitness is lined up.
Right. And since you're fairly new right now, do you have a certain type of clients coming in, or is it a range for the moment? I know
Yeah,
it will grow as time goes on and people learn more about you, but for
right.
right now, who you have, is there a specific type or anything?
Right now it's all over the board. We have members from 16, 17 years old all the way, in their 60s and early 70s.
Yeah.
So, we're all over the board. We're all fitness levels. If anybody has any past injuries or any kind of like medical conditions where they can't do certain movements, we modify exercises. We're always there for the clients. We if they can't do certain movements, then we give them other movements to do. So we have a 60, almost 50 to 60 years of range of clients right there. So
Oh, that's great.
yeah.
So basically, oh, we got the doggy
Yeah,
there.
sorry, our dog wants attention right now, of course.
That's
Sorry about
okay.
that.
You're good. So it doesn't matter. Eh, I assume you don't want anybody to be intimidated. That these are what I like about it is it's quick workouts. You get in, you get out. Everybody's got a busy day. Everybody's got something. If they want to linger, then they can. But this is designed to pretty much, you guys understand life is busy and messy. So come on in and, get your workout in and don't be intimidated if you've got some issues. The most important thing is your health. So, come see you guys there and, kind of get in a regimen. And, you've got such a diverse background that you can pretty much tackle almost anything, I think.
Yeah, we're the heaviest weight that some of the clients that are going to lift is that door coming in there. It's super intimidating. It's super intimidating when you go to maybe, like a bigger box gym with all the weights, all the machines, all the equipment. You're going to walk in and we're going to have coaches greeting you right away. We're going to, welcome you with open arms, thanking you for coming in. Sometimes that pillow and that blanket, they feel pretty cozy in the morning, and it's tough to get in for a 5 a.m. or a 6 a.m. But, we have the clients making it in, and we're going to thank them for coming in. We're going to give them, we're an accountability program that delivers kick butt workouts. So we're going to be accountable to the members to make sure they're coming in, making sure they're doing the right thing to fulfill their membership terms. And we're going to deliver awesome workouts. So that afterburn workouts that deliver, twice the results in half the time. That kind of just means, after the workouts, your metabolism is just in overdrive for the next 36, 48 hours. So, that being said, we don't want to, waste that and go to some of I like to say, our competitors, the ultra processed food, the fast food, the pizza shops, the donut shops, all that kind of stuff. So those are our competitors, not other gyms. We want other gyms. Our competitors are the couch and those and that kind of food. So that's what we got on that.
So you're just recommend that after they have their workout, maybe not hit the donut shop next door or what. I'm not sure what's next door to you.
We are. We have an Amy's Donuts across the way, so we kind of joke about it. Nothing against Amy's Donuts. It's just it's a joke in the gym.
Yeah.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Well, if we could get, a healthier donut, then by all means.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I'm really proud of the community that we've built so far. There is such a variety of people, but we kind of always have set that expectation of inclusiveness, and that we call it the fit family, fit body family. So at the end of our workouts, we clap it out, we high five a lot, we bring it in, we say fit body on 3, 1, 2, 3, or family on 3, 1, 2, 3, family, and everybody leaves smiling. And it's an opportunity to meet people too. So.
Yeah.
Right. That is just great. I also love bringing the community together and just having that feeling that, you're not just going in there and, doing a workout and leaving. And it's like, okay, now you're encouraging other people, as you're doing your workout and, as you're high-fiving and stuff, you're saying to other people, you matter and you're amazing. And it seems like it comes back and everything, which causes the ripple effect. So once they walk out, they're smiling, they're happy, they got a good workout, they were around great people, and you're feeling elevated, your vibration is higher, and then you're going to smile to the next person who might be having a bad day. But because they were at Fit Body Boot Camp and just, had a great experience, now they smile at somebody else and it brightens their day. So,
You said that perfectly, because that's what we talk about is that ripple effect. And that's really what we want. We want to send our members out that door feeling really elevated and positive so that they can go out and make other connections and have that ripple effect on other people. So,
yes. Yeah, we're very aligned. That's what the Colorado Springs Town Tidings is all about, is how do we bring the community together? That's why I love, the wonderful business owners that I meet, like you guys, and then also the subscribers. So it's like, okay, how do I get them together? And this is going to be perfect because walk in there. Now, when you say in the morning, or when are you open and can anybody come anytime during the day, or are you more morning?
Yeah, great question. So, we have session times throughout the day. So Monday through Thursday, we got 6 sessions. Friday, we have 4 sessions, and Saturday morning, we have 2 right now. So starting at as early as 5 a.m. Monday through Friday. So we got this already crew built of 5 a.m.ers. They're in there. They're getting after it right at 5 a.m. And then right after a 6 a.m. crew coming in, pretty strong. Right now we got a 6:45, and then we have a 9 a.m. So kind of right after that school drop off. For some of the parents out there, and then right after work we're hitting it hard to 5 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. We got half-hour sessions in there too. So they're all half-hour, 30-minute sessions. We come in for kind of a group warm-up, talking about the workout, and then afterward, after that 30 minutes, that timer hit, or we're kind of stretching together, a little bit of breathing exercises, and then we're good to go for the day. So, those are all kind of our seasonal hours right now to start. We may kind of adjust a little bit of hours come summertime, and then into the fall and holiday time again, already at the end of this year. So, we're looking to add more sessions. We're looking to add more members. I think we have a great deal for the 4 weeks to try us out right now for $40. And you can't beat unlimited sessions. You can come morning, you can come late afternoon. We're wanting to spread our passion for health and fitness.
So basically, it's open from 5 a.m. to 10:15 ish or 10:30.
9 a.m. is our last session in the morning. So that ends up about 9:30 a.m. So I just say like 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then go for a break, and then about 5 p.m. to about 7 p.m. Got a couple sessions in the evening there, Monday through Thursday.
Okay. So you close down in between,
Yeah,
and then you open it back up?
Yep, we close down, and then we in the afternoon there's not that as much of a demand as far as like before work and after work for most of our working people, in the community. And then Saturday morning we got an 8 and 9 a.m. session right now, just to get that like kickstart your weekend in overdrive. Maybe get a little bit of extra sleep instead of hitting the 5 a.m. coming in at 8 a.m. Saturday morning, and just like start your weekend off right with the killer workout.
Right. Well, that sounds good. And it's also, you're still new, and I don't know what the other franchises do, but I assume because you guys are pretty accommodating and you want the best results, if there is a demand for a lunchtime or whatever, then I'm sure you'll open up. But right now,
Sure.
you're just kind of, this is what you got.
Yeah.
Start it from where you are and then make adjustments as you go.
Oh yeah. Yep. Seasonal hours where we love adding more sessions. So the more the better.
Yep.
Great. And then are you guys there personally?
Yep. Yeah. We kind of come in and out. We have a 3 and a 5-year-old. So we're having fun at home. We're doing a lot of the family thing. We have great coaches if we're not there. So yeah, we are running it if we're not there from afar. But we have great coaches that are running it as well, and they're all certified personal trainers. They're all they've been in the game for a while, and they really are trying to educate our members. We call it personalized accountability and coaching and education. So they get that personal approach. We're going to coach them up, and we're going to have our members work out super safe and effective for that 30 minutes that we're here.
Right. So, and I know you guys have full-time jobs and your small kids and Fit Body Boot Camp. So, that's why I was wondering if you go ahead and are in there, if anybody can come and see you there. So it seems like you are when you can, and you hire people that are very aligned with what we're talking about and who you are, because that is an extension of you.
We were just there this morning. So we were in there working out
Cool.
with people and having fun and helping and coaching as well. So it's our passion, obviously. So we are there. I hop around sometimes and do some of the different classes just so I can meet other people as well, and meet our clients, because I really want to get to know them and know their goals. And so does Jason.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we are there.
Yeah. If we're not in there coaching and helping out, we'd love to coach and help out, but then we're in there probably working out ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Or our kids are running around there too.
Sometimes.
Right. Is there a place for kids when somebody's working out, if they have kids?
So right now we don't have any child watch or anything like that. If the parents have like kind of older kids that can maybe like read or study or something like that, we do have a little lobby area,
Okay.
but it is unsupervised at this point.
Okay, good to know. Nothing wrong with that. And again, I'm just saying, because you're new, you're still trying to get your feet wet and see what's going to work for you and for the community as far as what you're doing. So there's I didn't mean to insinuate anything like, oh, you're not there or whatever. So
Yeah.
Oh no, you're good.
Right.
okay, Good. So here is the next question, which is a great segment or segue. How do you both balance your demanding careers with running this business?
I think it's a collective effort of both of us. If one of us, has other obligations outside of the gym, then the other one kind of handles that. I think we have a great base of coaches right now that, are taking on a lot of responsibility, but they love it. They're asking for it. They're passionate. They're fire breathing dragons out there for us. They're doing the things that to help us kind of market the gym a little bit. It's marketing inside the four walls is super important because your members that are coming in are going to be your face and your going out in the community themselves, at their workplace, with their family, with their community as well. So I think we're tag teaming the roles. We've always done it. We've always been there for each other, and just with young kids, we love spending time with them, but we love what we do outside of family life as well. So I think just that impact, it really it's a fulfilling work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have a beautiful family. So again, trying to juggle everything. And it's what we need. You're perfect examples of being able to succeed not only in life but in your careers and also your passion. You're the trifecta. You're the triple threat.
Right. Yep. It's not easy. We run into tough days, just like everybody else. There's not a lot of days that I just jump out of bed. I'm like, let's go work out. There is some of those days where I do feel like that. I don't know where it comes from, but it's a challenge. But what if we're not pushing ourselves, then we're not growing.
Right. And I do the same thing. It's like, okay, I time to work out. I do it in my house. And I've got, all the DVDs and the balance board and my rebounder. I mean, I got all the toys. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, and I always try and push myself, but sometimes it's like, they always say, oh, do the first 5 minutes, if nothing else, just at least start. Well, sometimes I do that and it's like, okay, but if I go in not really feeling it, I'm just going through the motions. And I know that I need the mind body connection, or else it's just going through the motions. I'm not getting the benefit, but it's just like, oh my goodness. But you know what? I always do it. I always finish no matter how I feel. So it sounds
Yep.
like,
Yeah.
that's what happens with you guys too.
Oh yeah, you're not the only one. A lot of people that have come in already going, just getting into the gym, and I think we have that accountability program where, we expect a minimum of 3 workouts a week. So, not to, push anybody out the door, but if you don't come in for 3 workouts, we're going to call you or text you saying, where were you at for those 3 workouts this last week? And well, I was out of town, or I was feeling crummy all week, or whatever it is. That's fine. But we want to hit those minimum of 3 workouts a week. We want to have, our group in all our classes. We don't want to have, people just paying for the membership and come in and then, or not even come in at all.
Yeah,
we want people to use it. We really want to kind of build that part in that willpower part of your brain, that it's like, all right, here's my new habit. Here's my new schedule. I'm going to,
Right.
hold myself accountable. It's kind of personal accountability too. You sign up for
Right.
those workouts and look at your calendar, you see your priorities. If your workouts are in there, you're planning out for the week, for the month, and you have fit body in there 3 times a week or 4, then it's like, man, this person is holding themselves accountable to their fitness and to being their best self.
Right. And that is very refreshing. Not that, we're all different business owners, but you guys, I can really feel the heart centered. And it's not about, oh, come in and stuff. It's about helping somebody elevate themselves and their health to another level where maybe in their life, they didn't have somebody to do it. And I know having a mentor in some way, which, you guys and Fit Body Bootcamp that you are creating, is that for somebody to go ahead and, make health their priority and fitness, And you guys aren't there to berate them. What you're there is to be a supportive safety net. And okay, come on in. And if you're not there, you care. It's not, oh, come in, come in. It's, hey, you made this commitment because you wanted something and we care about you. So go ahead and, come on in. If you've got something going on in your life, like you said, that happens and that's okay. I mean, you don't want somebody with the flu coming in, or if they go on vacation, all good. But now you know that, and now when they come back, now you're ready. You're there
Yep.
with open arms, kind of to have them land safely when they're back.
Yeah, we call fitness, health and fitness, in our gym, we talk about it a lot. It's, it's the infinite game. It's not, for the spring for a little bit or right after New Year's for a little while. It's not take the summer off. It's not, it's, Thanksgiving to Christmas. I'm going to start in January. We're the infinite game. We keep going. There's no end in sight. The
Right?
game doesn't end.
There's only one time it ends.
Yeah, yep. And we can prolong that, as much as we can,
Right.
up until then, right? So we're prolonging, a healthy body
and increasing the quality of life.
quality.
Yeah.
Yes.
If
And
you're
do you give them tips like for, okay, you're doing this 3 times a week, and if you can't come in, or for times that you're not in here, because there's always more stuff we can do, even if it's just little things like, waiting in line and you're doing, tippy toes and, and whatever, just something to keep your body moving. So it's not just the workout, it's a lifestyle. So do you
Yeah.
kind of give them tips on what to do, just in every day as
Yep.
they.
Yep. As far as everyday life, if we have kind of a job that maybe calls us to be at a computer desk all day, I mean, get up, get up, get moving, once an hour, really try to get those 5,000 steps. Is 5,000 is really easy and you're already getting that? Let's give for 7,500. If you're like, up, I'm only at, I'm hitting like 7 to 8,000 or so, how can we get another 2,000 steps in? How can we get to 10,000? And then just trying to make that goal, like every day, like I need to get 10,000 steps. After dinner, you're like, oh, I'm only at like 8,000. Well, let's go for like a little walk, after dinner. Cause I think, that's really kind of crucial times. And really, we're all fitness levels, right? So we're not going to say,
Right.
oh, you're only doing 2,000 steps a day. What are you doing? Like, well, how can we get, an extra 500 a day? We'll start with that. And really it's small steps and small progressions towards becoming our better self. Drinking enough water and fluids, super crucial to especially somebody that's just getting back into fitness. So they don't go to a boot camp and then they're so sore for the next 5 days because, they went through a good workout, hydration, recovery, rest. And, I think that a little bit better every day, 1% better, right? And then over time, man, that's going to make some huge changes.
Stacking the wins.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Or just,
I love it. Yeah, I'm guilty of a lot of the bad stuff. I don't drink enough, so I'm severely dehydrated a lot, even though it's like, okay, but I'm a sipper, I'm not a gulper. And I'm like, okay, but I'm so thirsty all the time. And um, I'm got lack of sleep. I'm so sleep deprived in general. I'm writing the town tidings throughout the night. I'm trying to get other things done. And it's like, okay, so I got 3 hours just, before the call, and I worked out and then I came, on this interview. So I'm like, okay. And 3 hours for me is good. Now I know you guys are going to give me the sourpuss because that's not good. But so like you said, stack the wins. So it's like, okay, I know this and I know it's bad. It's not something I want to do, for the rest of my life, but sometimes life deals you certain things and you have to do. And so it's what's the win now? And don't beat yourself up so badly that you feel bad and then you stop doing everything.
Yeah, we can't change the past. The only thing we can do is from here on going forward. If people were not passionate about health and fitness before, that's okay. They need to find a starting spot. And when they, lift that door to come into Fit Body, it's like hopefully it's like a new beginning or like an eye opener, like, wow, like things are possible. They're gonna, if they're coming in for their 3 workouts a week and they're hydrating and they have conscious food choices, they're gonna sleep a little bit better, right? They're gonna be a little bit friendlier and nicer and just like positive to their friends and family and coworkers and their dogs and cats and and all that stuff and it's really that ripple effect like we talked about. And if people aren't, they're like, I don't really know if it fits for me, just reach out to us, search us online, give us a call or a text message. We'd love to give somebody a free workout just to see if it's for them.
Oh,
I really just think that will maybe take one step in one direction. They're like, I really don't know. I'm a little bit scared. It might be too much for me. I mean, we have 70-year-olds getting after it in the boot camps. So with modified exercise. So if somebody wants to just reach out to me for one free workout, we'd love to have them. We'd love to talk about their health and fitness goals. If they don't have any, we can talk about where we go. What's our goal for next week, and what's our goal from a month from now.
right.
And then our 4-week unlimited program. It's such a great thing for people to get started on their health journey with us.
Right. So they can start small and then they can go. And if they're not sure, it's okay. Come in, get a hold of you and, let's meet them where they are and then help them get to the levels that, they need to be or they want to be, and you guys can help them.
Yeah, yeah. We have clients that have never worked out before. So they don't,
Oh, wow.
and it is intimidating to come in a gym and never have worked out. I used to be intimidated to go to the gyms and lift weights and things like that, just because I had no idea what I was doing before I started working towards like becoming a personal trainer. That's one thing that's kind of a little bit unique about us too, is that we offer that personal training in a group session or a group session. So we're going around, we're showing you how to do the moves, we're correcting form, and then we're going, yay, you're doing it great, you're doing an awesome job. And you know what? Some days we understand that people don't have good days. They may have like went somewhere they didn't want to go for dinner because they were in a hurry. But guess what? They got all their water in that day, and we're going to celebrate that too. So it's not, exactly what you said. We're going to celebrate the small wins, and hopefully we'll be able to celebrate the big wins as you progress. So
Yeah. And if somebody comes in for that free workout, and they're like, maybe it's not for me, that's okay. We'll part as friends.
Right.
We'll always be there. If they change their mind down the road, they're like, you know what, that workout was probably good. I kind of really liked it, even though it's tough and all that, they could come back. If not, that's okay. We want to just spread positive vibes in the community.
yeah.
Right. I love that too, because I do that, when I have subscribers, it's like, yay. And then if I have an unsubscribe and I'm like, oh, I'm bummed. But it's like, unless you tell me, I don't know why to change anything. But it's like, if it wasn't for you right now, that's okay. We're still friends. So
Yeah.
come back anytime,
Yeah. Yep.
That's it. So what's the most rewarding part of helping people transform their lives and their health?
I think that some people have already came to me. We've only been open 4 weeks and just really said, "Oh my goodness, like this is what I've needed for a long time." We've already seen some of our transformations. As far as we have a wall of fame at the boot camp already, and
Awesome.
pounds lost and percentage of body fat loss and number of sessions hit. And so like we're already seeing some of those milestones. It's only been 4 weeks. So
Right.
if you can imagine with the transformations that we're already seeing at 4 weeks, what happens at 8 weeks? What happens at 12? Like, we come in fit body that's in 6 months, like holy moly, like the sky is the limit. And
Right.
if we can really just spread that, in the community, like people, it's I think just the rewarding part of, afterward, everybody's sweaty and they're drinking water and they're talking together, like how the workout was tough or whatever, but everybody's like laughing and it's just
Right.
like,
Got through it.
but they came in at 5 a.m. like, here we go again. And then at 5:30 or right after the session, they're like, yeah. And that's for every session. And after work session too, it's like, all right, I'm out of work. Like, I finally like get to like open up and like do some things and like,
Right.
man, like ending at 7 p.m. with that last session of the day. Oof, like people are like, all right, let's go eat dinner. Let's do it. I'm ready to get back to work tomorrow or whatever it is.
Right. Or have a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
man, sleep is so much better after a good workout too,
It
I
is.
think.
Yeah.
Right. So I was listening a little bit, and I just want to touch on this one. Now, there's this big wave of health and wellness, and you mentioned like um, weight and body mass index and stuff. And
Mhm.
back in the 80s, when I first started working out and all that stuff, that was all the big thing. We had to be these little waifs, these thin, and I never fit into that. I was always more athletic and, never thought I was as thin as I actually was. If I was as thin now as I was back then, I'd be happy. But I'm just like back then it was always so there's some people, either from past or it's, just society, there's a stigma. And I
Mhm.
know like if I get on the scale, it messes with my mind. So,
Mhm.
it's just like, okay, I don't want to be a number. I want to fit into my clothes. I want, and that was like my barometer kind of, if I don't, I'm like, uh-oh, I'm obviously gaining some pounds. But there's certain triggers that might be like, okay, so I want to have fitness and I want to feel good and function well and live longer. But, I don't necessarily want to focus on those indexes, even though I understand why you guys would have it because they're goals, and so you're
Yeah.
trying to go there. But if somebody like me was to come in, how would we modify it a little bit where I'm not being triggered to like an eating disorder or something because, oh my goodness, now my the scale is, not going down or something.
So, our in-body scanner, I understand the triggering. We never obviously mean it to come off like that. And it's
Right.
if somebody doesn't want to do it, they certainly don't have to. What we really look at for that is, so you know how you're working out and you're eating right and you're plateauing on the scale, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like, wait, but are your clothes fitting a little bit better? And sometimes people don't realize that. And then with that in-body scanner, when it divides out like body fat and skeletal mass, we can see the muscle gain. So sometimes that can be really rewarding for clients because obviously we kind of know as women it's really hard to put on muscle for one, but it's longevity for us. It's our muscles are supporting our skeletal structure, so it is really important. So everybody has different goals, whether it be weight loss or gain muscle. And that's kind of like where we kind of target in on that in body, not necessarily the number of how much you weigh on the scale, but certainly people don't have to do that. We have people that don't want to do that, and that's perfectly fine, and then we just say as we go, they'll come up and they'll say, hey, my clothes are fitting a little bit better, and that's what they want, and that's great. And we'll always encourage them along the way, regardless if they want to use that to set their goals or if they just want to be with us and just feel stronger and healthier. That's fine too. So do you have anything to add on
Yeah, I
that?
think it's not where you're at right now, right?
Uh-huh.
We came to Fit Body Boot Camp, and we're an accountability program. So if we're making conscious decisions, we're hitting our 3 to 4 workouts a week, and it's about where we're going to go. We encourage our members to do that in-body scan once a month. It's like if we're doing all those things, we're going to gain a little bit of strength. We're going to gain a little bit of muscle mass. You may not be able to see it because like the muscle will take up that part of your body that maybe wasn't as strong before, but and then the things that happen on the inside, your cells are changing, your mitochondria is changing, your bone
Mhm.
health is changing, and your muscle is your longevity. So it's like you may not see a lot going on as far as the mirror, but we're going to see progressive changes over time as far as your mindset, your discipline, your and your muscle mass, and your water weight, and just like
Yeah,
it's just going to open up a lot of avenues in your life.
mhm.
Right.
I do have people that come in and they're like, I don't want to do it, but I do want to do it. And I don't want
Right.
to do it, but I do want to do it. But then they do it. And then after the 4 weeks, they notice some changes and it was more motivated. They didn't realize, they're like, well, I don't want to do it now because I want to do it after. And it's like, well, we want to see the changes. And then it's been more motivating for them as they continue too. So just because of the division of it does divide out the water mass and skeletal muscle and fat as well. So Yeah. So
Good. So because you want all inclusivity, and so that is great to hear. Especially like you said, it's intimidating to open the door, but there are people that do have triggers and stuff, but they want to feel better.
Mhm.
And so that's great that you're working on, if somebody needs the mindset, you're
Mhm.
working on that as well. And you're nurturing them
Mhm.
to a better health and fitness and overall life, even though they may have some things in their life that is triggering from a health and wellness standpoint. So, that is, like I said, you guys encompass more than just, hey, come in, hit the workout, and go out.
Yeah,
Seems
we
like.
just, yeah, no, that's exactly, it's not necessary. We just want everybody to be their best self, and feel good and be healthy and be able to do the things that they want on a day-to-day basis. Like me, I work out because I want to be able to keep up with my kids, and that's really important to me, and you work out because he's working in the community. He needs to, be able to maintain a certain threshold to do his job, but also you want to
The
stay the
kids.
kids, yeah.
Yeah.
We want to
Right.
stay fit for our kids, and so, but that looks different for everybody. We just really want to encourage you to be what your best self. So,
Right. And
um,
also, you might have caregivers,
mhm,
the older community, and then they're, caregivers for their parents or
Yeah.
something. And
mhm,
so they kind of need this to keep themselves healthy for who
mhm.
they're caregiving, but also to give them a break and focus. Let's focus on you because you're always focused on somebody else.
Yeah, I really like that you mentioned that,
Yeah.
because that is something like this is you time. You know what I mean? That you're doing this is for you. I really like that. That's what I go to when I go work out at Fit Body. That's kind of that's my time too. So I mean, obviously, I like to talk to all of the clients and everybody there, but I think that that's the most important thing is showing up for yourself. So
Well, that the you time isn't just, hey, put me in a bubble. That is also you interacting with
yeah.
like-minded people. And so
Hmm.
it's a different energy than just whatever your life is, before. So you're still getting you time. It doesn't need to be isolated you time. It's just if this energizes you, then, you're doing something good for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So tell me, how can people find you? What's the website, Facebook, phone number? If they want a free workout, they're not sure or whatever, give me all the deets.
Okay.
Nice, awesome. You can find us on Facebook. We're North Carefree Fit Body Boot Camp or Fit Body Boot Camp North Carefree. Facebook, Instagram. You should be able to find us pretty easy. We're off North Carefree and Powers in Colorado Springs, so right there, kind of towards the east side there, easily accessed by Powers. So we have
Mhm.
people from Fountain all the way up to Monument, even.
Yeah.
So super easy to access us. Website, you can search us online, but it's fitbodybootcamp.com. And then there's a lot of slash location slash CO Springs, but just search us in the search bar there. Colorado Springs Fit Body Boot Camp, and we should come up. We're North Carefree too, so it should come up North Carefree Fit Body Boot Camp or whatever it is. You can always send us a DM, send us a message on Instagram or Facebook, or just look us up on a Google search, and then give us a call, leave us a message, even send us a text through that line.
Mhm.
There's a couple of inquiries through there. If you want to inquire about the 4 weeks for $40, we have information to click on our website. And then we'll contact you probably within the next day or so after you get in touch with us. So even if you just have some questions, we'd love to talk to you. We'd love to talk, health and fitness goals. And we want you, again, if you're not sure if it's for you, come in for a free class.
Mhm.
We'd love to have you. We'd love to get you in here, get moving a little bit, and really afterward, you're going to be on that fitness high, and you're gonna really, I think you're going to want to benefit from getting that introductory rate right now.
Right. And what's a good phone number for the
Oh, good question.
Yeah, it's 719-266-2951. You can call or text us at that line, if we're on the phone with another member at that point. So call or text.
right? Yeah. And nowadays people like to text and I'm one of them, so it's
Yep.
sometimes easier just to send that.
Yep.
Well, that's great. And it was such a delight to have you guys. It was very refreshing, the conversation, and to know what you're doing in the community and the reason why you're doing it. So
Yep.
I really appreciate you guys coming on.
Yep. Thanks, Sandy.
No, thank you
Yeah.
for having us.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this conversation too. So
Yep.
thank you.
Great. So if anybody's watching, go ahead and look them up for Fit Body Boot Camp in Colorado Springs, the North Carefree location. You definitely want to talk to Jason and Kaylee. They've got so much experience and that they're bringing to the Fit Body Boot Camp that you definitely don't want to miss this. And come on back next week and we'll have another business owner. Take care.
Thank you.
Uh,
Bye. Thanks.